welcome to another game in which I'm going to be playing Malphite top lane versus Alessandra. I have Ryze in mid lane versus a Lux, I have Zac in the jungle versus an Amumu, and I have Caitlyn Leona in bot lane versus a Ezreal Nami. So, let's jump in and see how this goes. This is a pretty standard comp from us, to be honest. Heavy engage with Malphite ult, Zac jump in ult, and Leona ult plus by a mid that either supports it or can make good use of it, like a Ryze. So, first plan is to invade. We want to try and affect their Mumu's jungle by stealing their red buff, and we just sit in this bush and wait. We get here as quickly as possible. We decide that we're going to go all the way around and see if anyone hides in this bush just below us, just in case. So we enter, nobody's here, so we just put down our ward and we move off. We debate about stealing the red, and we're like, yeah, let's do it. So we hide in this bush and we just wait. They're checking all the bushes just in case we're here. And then Ezreal throws out a Q, hits me, yep, telltale sign that we're in there, so I come out of the bush, and then we decide to back off. So we don't get the red buff in the end, but we still feel that we did what we wanted to do. We got a ward down, so we know where Mumu is, just in case, and then I get the nice pull to the Zac, and I rush off to lane. Now, I was a bit skeptical about fighting Alessandra. Alessandra picked into me, if I remember correctly, and I was a little skeptical. I'm not entirely certain how this lane will go, so I'm going to max my Q and just going to sit here and focus on the farming. I'm going to probably build magic resist based items, so probably a chalice and an abyssal scepter, stuff like that. So I'm going to try and just last hit. At first her AP damage isn't very high, so I'm not too bothered. She didn't start with anything too scary, so I get ganked by a Mumu. Yep, I wasn't surprised, so I just focus on last hitting, and I just keep my distance, knowing that Mumu might be camping me to try and get Lysandra ahead. So just waiting until she pushes, which she eventually does, because she was doing a bit of AoE while trying to poke me. So I'm now just going to sit back and get the last hits as safely as possible without losing too many of them. And then she continues to try and poke me, and I just sit back and I just farm. I've got no reason to be horribly aggressive until I've got the right kind of equipment. So I'll just stay in the lane and try and survive it, I suppose. At this point she's going to be cocky. She's doing laughs at me. Fine, whatever. She can do as she pleases. Fine. I'm just going to last it, as I said. I throw the odd Q here and there just to get my point across that I'm not too pleased with fighting her, and then continue to last hit. Although I do want them to push, because if she's pushing, then I can just safely last hit without fear of being ganked, because as it is, they have a lot of CC if a Mumu does gank me. So I'm just gonna wait till she pushes again, this time with another big wave. Fine, I'm not too fussed. I'll just focus on getting the last hits and wait until I've got that equipment that I need. Preferably I need chalice so that I can start being aggressive against her, so I've got the mana regen, and I also need the magic resist from it to let me survive her initial amount of damage. I then need health to use my shield so that her Qs don't go bypass my shield, and then I need to just basically poke her when I have the mana regen. So I get 3 points in Q because there's no point maxing up my ground slam. But anyway, Zac comes in, we ult her, and we just wait, and then she goes over here. Nope, she decides she doesn't want to do that, so we have her corner. I go onto her and smash her really hard, and then she dies. I then ask if the Zac wouldn't mind trying to push with me, but he decides to go off with Ryze to try and kill the Lux in their jungle. Sadly dies, and then yeah, we theoretically we didn't gain anything then from me killing Lissandra, but it gave me a bit of freedom, so I just push as much as I can, as quickly as I can, try and get it pushed before she gets back to the lane. Keep bashing these things, and then Lissandra's back and I back off. There's no point staying while she's here, I'm too low, I've got no mana. So, I get myself Mercury Treads and a Chalice of Harmony. I now have quite a lot of mana regen due to the Chalice, and I have a load of MR as well. So now I should be able to survive this lane, and she'll actually struggle a little bit against me because my Qs will start hurting because I'll be able to spam them more often. So I hit her and I keep fishing on her because I can. Once she's thrown out her initial damage, she can't do much else. She's maxing her Q, which is fine, I'm not too bothered about that, and I kind of guessed that she would be. Because of the Mercury Treads, her snare isn't doing a huge amount, and then she doesn't have a huge amount of armor, so because I'm running AD Quints, my auto attacks do hurt alongside activating my W, which then increases my base attack damage. I come in, I ult everything, and I dodge and avoid, and then I decide, actually, I'm probably just going to die anyway, so I flash on top of her, kill her, die to Lissandra, I don't get assist to a Mumu. Overall, I think that maybe I could have done that better. I probably didn't need to flash, but I wanted to be certain that I killed her, knowing that she didn't have anything. And then I come back up, this time with Ruby Crystal and some wards. And I head back to lane. The Ruby Crystal is going to turn into a Kindle Gem, to turn into a Spirit Visage for the health regen and additional MR. So I'm going to push up again and bish bash on the tower. Lissandra was bottom, that's why I'm pushing so hard, because I want her to lose out on XP. Not only did she die while she was down there, but we gained advantages because of her being dead, because I was still in lane. So I'm just going to put down my ward now. I missed her with the pebble because I was falling. There was a minion blocking her hitbox, which was irritating, but I didn't bothered. And then she comes out, I throw out a Q, and I just wait, and then I go on to her again and just fish bash off. And then I know that she's doing this, so I ult her, and then continue to hit on her. And then she throws out her ult, and I decide probably best not to dive her. I have no mana now. So I just go back to farming, knowing that she's now ridiculously scared of me. She's got no ult, I have no ult, but she's a lot lower than me. As soon as I have the mana, I will happily just ram on top of her and kill her. I'm waiting for that opportunity. I just need another Q, and then I'll probably try and go onto her again. But in the meantime, I'll just last hit. She's trying to poke me and try and return some of the damage that I dealt on her, but to be honest, I'm not fussed. And then she's gone back, and I know that she's gone back, so I'm just going to push as fast as I possibly can in the hope that she'll do that or something. And then I go back, and I buy myself a Kindle Gem and a Negatron Cloak and some pots. Come back to lane now, and I'm gonna get ready to go on to her again to clean up these minions. She's going for the tower, right? I'm just gonna go on her then for trying to damage the tower, and then go on to her again. I now have ult again, so I'm waiting for a perfect opportunity. She ults me, Zac comes in, boom. We both missed for a flash, but she died anyway. Boom, nice, quick, clean kill. Okay, fine, we missed my ult and Zac missed his jump, but we killed her and I go back. I now have my Spirit Visage. I am now at that point where she's going to struggle. Because I'm just going to sit there, I'm going to regen, and I've got a load of MR. I have 161 MR at this point. I then come down here to try and help with this. I don't have my ult sadly, so in the end, because they get the tower, I'm just like, fine, I'll just back off, there's no point staying. So I rush back up to top lane as quickly as I possibly can. Lissandra at this point is actually behind me by a level, so I'm going to continue to put the pain on her, especially since I have all this MR. My shield now definitely survives one of her Qs because of all the MR and because of the health I'm gaining due to the Spirit Surge. And then, bish bash bash. Go onto her because she goes for power a little bit. Fine, you can certainly try. And I keep going on, so I'm waiting for this. Yep, there we go. Ult and smash. She's dead. She used her ult. Fine. She was never going to get away from me anyway. And then I just keep on pushing. See an Ezreal will come up past me. Not too bothered. I'm just going to continue to push. I then go for the tower as quickly as I can, and then go for the minions, push, kill off the ranged ones, and go for the tower knowing that the Sandra's not nearby. And then push up the minions, and then I go back. The Sandra's there again, and I go back, get myself a Giant's Belt, and come back to lane. At this point, I'm thinking that she probably gets the tower, but she doesn't. Fine, okay, I'll keep my tower alive then. I'm happy with that. And then I can put down my ward, and I continue to push. If she comes out again, I will definitely go for her and try and kill her again. At this point, I'm 4-1-0, and I'm pretty big, beefy, and tanky. So, I come down to mid lane now to come down for the dragons, since they're going for it. We get a smite steal from Zac, and then I come in. We've already cleaned up most of them, and I ult smash to kill off the Moo with the collateral damage due to the AoE, and then kill off Ezreal, continue to chase down, and then decide I'll leave the Lux, and I'll just go for this tower along with my Caitlyn. Lux is there trying to stop us. Yeah, pretty easy for her to do that due to her Lucent Singularity, her E, and then we just like, fine, we're gonna have to back off. So we go back, and I buy myself a Sunfire Cape. Now, the reason I'm building a Sunfire Cape and not say a Randuin's is because it's only Ezreal. Ezreal's not an attack speed reliant AD, so it's better to go Sunfire Cape for the AoE damage. I'm then going to build an Abyssal Scepter to reduce our MR for the team due to the actual AP damage we have, what with me, Ryze, and Zac. So then I come down here, we've catched out the Sandra and killed her, and then I come over to help punish them and get this tower. I then put down a ward there. I see a Nami, and I come over here, and I want to stop her from getting that, and then ult straight on top of Lux, and we chase her down. Ryze goes maybe a little bit too far and dies sadly. I then end up backing off. They get away with no deaths, sadly. And that was a slight misplay from Ryze, just going a little bit too deep and ending up under the tower. And we seal the red buff with me and Caitlyn as quickly as we can, boom, and then we rush off away. I go back and I buy myself some wards because I don't have any money for anything else. And then we rush over back to mid lane, and at this point I actually have 500 gold, so I'm saving up for either to get towards Abyssal or something with armor. And then we catch out Lux here, and then I'm punishing onto these two here, and then Caitlyn gets caught out, dies, and so does Leona. But me, Ryze, Zac are all trying to keep our distance. And of course they're going to go straight for Baron because of this. So Ryze quickly pushes that back. And then we come in. We see this perfect opportunity. We put down wards. Amumu comes in on top of Ryze. I ult 3 of them. Zac comes in. And then ults as well. And we just go for the Lux. We kill Lux first. She's lower. And then Ezreal's ridiculously low, dies to the Baron, and then I chase down Lux, and then kill her, boom, then chase down Lissandra, because she's the next most threatening target. I then back off a little bit, I come in, for a Q1 Amumu, kill him, chase down Lissandra, smack, 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 and chase down the Nami. Realise that I've got no mana, really, and that she's definitely gotten away. So I just go back and with a Quadra. Now 10-1-0. I get myself a Blasting Wand, and I just sit back and I wait for a bit of money, and I get myself my Abyssal Scepter. And now at that point where I am going to do a ridiculous amount of damage should I get on somebody, and I'm very scary in team fights. Now, it maybe would have been nice I had somebody else gotten some of those kills in there, but because I got that Quadra, I'm going to be just a massive threat in fights, luckily. So I would go for that ward, but I've got Sunfire Cape and I don't want to risk it. So I leave that to Zach to go clean up. And then we hang around Baron just in case, wait for the opportunity that they might try something, might come and try and stop us. So we stick down wards here, we get a pink down, we kill their pink, and then we actually go onto the Baron a little bit here. And then I tank up damage for the team. Lux ults, yep, okay. And then a bit of miscommunication. I didn't know we were going in here, so Zach goes in a bit early and sadly gets put into his passive state. Moo wants me, and then Leona ult doesn't hit anything big. I then jump on top of Ezreal and Nami, and can't do much to either of them due to Lux also being there. We can't shout Lissandra because she goes really deep in. But then I die due to Ezreal ignite with Lux. Zac gets away just, but then Ezreal chases him down, kills him, and then Caitlyn also gets caught a tiny bit, and yeah, turns into a Baron attempt for them. And then Rise comes in at this point and waits for it, and then at this point, yeah, the fight doesn't go too well. We kill off the Moo, but then they get the Baron anyway. I then come back up with home guards, come over here and flash, try and kill Nami. Nope, doesn't happen. So I rush over the top lane to stop this from pushing as quickly as I can. Boom. Knowing that they have Baron now is scary for us overall, but we're not too bothered. It does mean that though they're a little bit ahead, they also take Dragon. Fine. Okay, so now we're waiting till either they make a mistake or we can engage in a big way or against them. So I'm trying out Qs here and there, trying to do some damage, try and be that scary pebble that I am. They're continuing to try and siege this. Rise is going back. They throw out lots of abilities, including Lux and Ezreal ult to try and kill off our Leona. Leona goes back naturally because of it, and they're continuing to siege. Catch out Lux here, and we blow her, or try to anyway. She then gets away sadly, and we then end up getting hit by quite a lot of other things. Continue to chase them down a little bit, and then we back off. Overall though, that fight wasn't too bad. A little bit rusty. We could have killed Lux had I queued the right person. I thought she was already dead, so I went for somebody else. But it was not to be. But overall, considering they had Baron, we still came out even, and that's not too bad considering. So we then wait for the next siege, we get buffs and that sort of thing. So Rise goes off and gets blue buff, and we wait, and then they come back to mid to try and push. We're actually ahead of them in gold by a little bit, not good, about 400, 500 gold. Not a very big difference, to be honest. I'm building up for a Randall and Omen now, because I feel that I need it. And they're continuing to try and siege, but they're not doing very much sieging at this moment in time. They're waiting for their minion waves, and then we're looking for another opportunity. Lux is off to the side again, so maybe we can catch her out. I throw out my Q, Lux is right there, Zac goes in, and I then get caught out a little bit here, and I ult on top of Sandra, not very good, to be honest. I then get caught out by ult on left, right, centre, yep. So once again, a bit of miscommunication. I could have altered Ezreal and Lissandra if I had aimed it a bit better. We only killed Lissandra in the end, and they continue to push in. They get top in a tower and mid in a tower, kind of irritating, but to be honest, it was once again a bit of a mixed communication. Now they're ahead of us in goals slightly, but we still feel we can turn this around if played right. So I then continue to hang around and wait for that opportunity as the initiate. I'm actually doing pretty well considering, but not having quite as much impact as I'd hoped. And then Baron's back up, so we're getting wards down and stuff, and I get caught out a little bit here. They don't really want to go on me. That would be ridiculous, because there's no point just going on me, because I'm a tank anyway. I'd just initiate for my team if they went on me. So I come over to mid lane to quickly clean up the minions as quickly as I can, and then we rush over here, get another ward down, and then pinks all around. They don't have any wards in those areas, and then they come in. We're looking for that opportunity where I can get on top of Ezreal, preferably without him actually getting away, because as it is, he's the problem. If I can get on him and Luxo, that would be a bonus, and then we can problem is getting that opportunity, and also with a low ranged mid lane, it's hard because he's finding it hard to get past Lissandra and Amumu, and then the Nami CC. So our blues up, they're going to try and fight for it at this point, and then I'm here pretty much all on my own, and we're like, we need to fight this really badly. So I jump on top of Ezreal, Ezreal runs away, Rise comes around now with blue off, and then the team focuses on people. I'm sort of like at this point really low, but everyone's leaving me alone at this point, and I bish onto top of Lissandra. I then get killed by Nami, but then the team goes for the Amumu as much as possible, and then they switch onto Ezreal and Lux. Caitlyn does some really good moves just here. Flashes over, auto attacks, fires ult on top of Ezreal, bang, throws out the Q, kills the Amumu, and then shifts around a little bit, and then auto attacks a ward, and then Rise blows up the Nami as much as possible, but then switches over to the Lux. Then Caitlyn comes back around and throws out a Q, and finally dodges the Singularity, and then kills off the Nami. Boom. Clean arse fight. Well played by the Caitlyn and the Rise. They had a great coordination just then, and they won us that fight because of it. So I come back up, I get a Warden's Mail, I get some pinks, and I get an Oracle's. I want to make sure that that Baron is clean. So I come in, I put down my pink just in case they put a ward inside, so I don't have to walk in with the Oracles. I come around here for safety's sake, check this bush for wards, and then check this bush as well. Nope, nothing. Check this one, kill off the ward, and then wander off over here. There's a ward there, so I kill that. I then come around here. At this point, they're actually feeling a bit scared of us because that fight really shook them up. They weren't really expecting us to be able to turn it around like that. So they're trying to stop us from pushing at this point because we're doing a little bit of a siege of our own, but we decide that we can't do it anymore. Not properly anyway, so we keep our distance now and we wait. We just wait for them to make the mistakes like they did last time. And then we continue to push in at this point now, realising that we're fully powered. We've got buffs now as well. So kill off that ward, come over here, check for wards just in case they slip one in. I keep on checking. Nope, nothing. Cool. Lissandra's trying to look for that opportunity. Yep, okay, fine. So I come round here along with the team, and then Ryze is up top, so we're like, yep, don't engage, just let them try and push in. They fire out the Nami ult, and then they come in. And under the tower, they go for me and the Zac for some reason. And then Lissandra goes in Caitlyn for our Caitlyn, but they continue to go for me and Zac mostly. So me and Zac jump on top of Lux, and then Lissandra's over there, Ezreal's over there. I go kind of for the Nami, realising that I'm not going to survive very long. Then we kill off the Lissandra, boom, and the team gets away. So overall it was a trade of top laners for top laners. And to be honest, overall they theoretically win that trade because of it, because I'm more effective than Lissandra. I'm doing more in team fights as well than Lissandra. Lissandra's always been the one dying, whereas I've been a little bit more persistent in fights. I've been more effective, been causing more chaos for their side of the fight. So look, Leona gets called out a little bit, but they use Luxor, and we know that it's on cooldown. It's not on a cooldown for very long. I don't want to go for that ward just in case, because I know that they're probably all hanging around, and Zac's up top. So I just hang around here with my oracles and ready to clean out wards just in case. Bottom's pushing, so we say, right, okay, go. Quickly clean that up. We can stop them from doing Baron if they decide to. So now they're thinking Baron time. Caitlyn's bottom, so we say, Caitlyn, we need you to come up now. So we're just killing off their wards, so they've got no vision when we come in. And then they're continuing to go for it at this point, and Sandra's just used her sort of gap close. So I jump in on 3 of them. We steal the Baron, and then we kill off the Nami due to AoE. And then we're like, we need to kill the Caitlyn, keep the Ezreal. We need to kill the Ezreal. So the Ezreal comes in, the Ryze is just throwing out damage left, right, centre. Then Caitlyn comes in and boom, kills off the Lux. Zac uses the passive, boom. And then finally goes off to push down mid lane. I'm still down at this point, but the team's pushing in for the inhibitor, and the team is feeling pretty confident at this point. So they continue to push, and then they back off. So we get an inhibitor, we also get the Baron out of that. We're now at that point where we really need to make something happen. So the cost of dying, I call myself Giant Spark towards the Random's Omen, and I'm trying to get as much money as possible. I then go back really quickly, get myself my Random's Omen. Now with the Random's Omen and the Initiate, I should be able to have even more impact over their Ezreal and their Lux. So we're shifting around here. Zac's over there killing a ward, catch out Lux, and then get Nami out of them. And then Zac's like, I'm going in. So I'm like, fine, go in, smash, straight onto Ezreal. Ezreal out front for some reason, and we basically just, me and Zac both go for it as much as possible. Just stick on top of it, blow him up, and then continue to chase down the rest of their team. Me and Zac are just being pain in the arses for their team and just generally causing havoc. And then I continue to chase down Nami just in case, get caught out by Lux a little bit, and bang, I die. Yep. Okay, I was not expecting that amount of damage, but then my team continues to push in. I say just go for the towers, go for the towers. Nothing else needs to be killed. Zac gets caught out a little bit, and then the team continues to go for the towers. Lux is trying to stop them. Ryze then continues to go onto the Nami and kills her quickly as he can. And there we go. And then Lux is there. Caitlyn's continuing to go for the Nexus. And then with the help of Leona, Ryze kills off Lux and we finish the game. Overall, to be honest, that was a pretty even game from both sides, but I had more impact, I feel, than Lissandra did, and then because we were more heavy engaged than they were a bit of a mix of sort of poke and siege. We basically just, when it came to team fights, me and Zach did more than their Amumu and their Lissandra. Their Amumu tended to have to protect their Ezreal Lux, whereas me and Zach were free to just ram into him and stay on top of him. And because Lissandra was the only one really going for our backline, she died very quickly, even with immunities with the Zhonya's and her ult. So overall, I think that we had a better team fight and a better late game. There was a few points where we were a bit skeptical, but the Baron steal did help us a lot, and that certainly turned around the game for us. Overall, I think this game went very well. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment below. You can also follow me and like me on Twitter and Facebook. Thank you for watching.